Yeah? Does this help you? Now let me differentiate between two kinds of creativity. This morning, when I gave you that exercise that do this for a paperclip and then later on, don't do this for a paperclip. There's two forms of creativity. One is desire-driven, which I've been talking about all morning. That means it has to come from inside. In my case, look at this. I just wrote this book a year ago. And the process of book writing is not easy. It's like writing a thesis that goes to market. People have to appreciate it, they have to pay you money for it. So I started working on it in 2005 and I've been dreaming, thinking, sleeping, chewing, biting, eating, drinking about it since 2005. So my first idea, my first vision of my book was like this. The Heart of Human. I didn't like it. It looked too ghastly. It looked too terrifying. It looked too standard. And it wasn't putting across the point that I put across in the book eventually. Then I said this one looks much more corporate, it looks much more nicer. All the ladies of PAS will buy it because it looks like one of them. Right? I changed that too because I thought men must buy my book too because it's not just men, it's not just ladies who are boring, it's also men who are boring. So I tried this one. I said it's good for people to age gracefully. How about that? Is that a good title? I didn't like it. I kept on the title for about a month, 2 months. I was thinking about it. I dropped it. I said it looks too... Young people might not buy it because they might think it's for senior citizens only. And then I made this one. I said, wow, this looks good. It looks like team building. It looks like people are having fun while laughing. And it looks so corporate. All Americans in the world will buy it. And I said, hey, how about the Filipinos? They might not buy it. Or my Mumbai friends in India might not buy it. So, eventually, and finally, actually there were many more. I just brought these samples. Oh, this one. I said, oh, branding, Raju. Yung mukha mo kailangan mo nasa cover ng book. So I put myself there. Then it looked very scary. It looked like that movie Dracula. I said, no, it doesn't look good. Finally, I came up with this one. Now look at that. Because this touch pain, broken heart, play with it. Be funny with it. Kick it around and flip it. So it becomes funny. Then your heart becomes happy when you are making jokes about yourself. That means you're becoming humble about the pain that you carry. Because pain and pleasure are two sides of one coin. So this cover, for me, finally was the best choice. Now, I could have gone with the first cover, right? But desire-driven creativity, that means you must want to become different and you must want to become better constantly. Does that make sense? Here's another story. Another side of the creative coin. Demand-driven creativity. That means you guys are faced with challenges every single day of your life. Right? How to handle the situation, how to change systems, how to administer other people. So you're demanded by circumstances. And there was this lady in the 1950s, she was demanded by circumstances because her personal life was a mess. She had a little baby, those days, who would make baby and poo-poo all the time. Does that happen to you? Do you have babies that make baby and poo-poo all the time? Or they don't? They all do, right? Inside the napkin. It did not work. Then she put some absorbent fabric inside the napkin. It did not work. Then she put fishnet and absorbent fabric in the napkin and she came up with this. Something to clip on. And she made a patent out of it in the 1950s and she sat on it for 1 year because people thought it's an impossible idea. In 1964, Victory Mills of USA bought it and they converted it to hammers. Made the world's life easier. Now you can just use one and throw it away. Right? That was a creative idea. She had no resources. Right? It was a small idea. It wasn't a big idea. People laughed at her for 10 years. They said, "Why do you want to use plastic and absorbent fabric inside the baby?" Eventually, look at the world now. Everybody's using what she used. She sold the patent and the design for $1.5 million in 1964.